Protecting the nation from threats at home and abroad requires an assured supply of clean water, and lots of it. Army researchers estimate that each warfighter requires between 2 and 12 liters of fresh drinking water every day. Hi, I'm HDIAC subject matter expert Joel Hewett, here to discuss how the Department of Defense can leverage solar power to keep military facilities and bases cheaply and efficiently supplied with clean drinking water. The Department of Defense is one of the largest consumers of clean water in the world. In fiscal year 2017, DoD installations consumed more than 82 billion gallons of potable water, enough to fill an Olympic-sized swimming pool 135,000 times. Supplying this much clean water to the DoD forces can be a challenge. While access to water at domestic installations is largely secure, many forward operating bases, or FOBs, must be resupplied with potable water by ground or air transportation, which is a costly and inefficient process. For example, a Marine Corps warfighting laboratory study of water transportation to FOBs in Afghanistan over the summer of 2009 found that an average shipment of 100 water trucks required an additional 26 fuel trucks just to power the convoy's round trip. Establishing a secure supply of potable water is often priority number one when operating a CONUS. However, large sections of the world lack local supplies of clean water. In 2018, the United Nations estimated that 1.8 billion people live in water scarcity due to land degradation or drought. Where FOBs do generate their own potable water, they typically use pressure-driven membrane filtration systems. However, membrane fouling is an ever-present challenge in these processes, decreasing both the energy efficiency and lifespan of the membrane. FOBs will benefit immensely from a new generation of water purification and treatment technologies, known as photothermal water treatment. Researchers from Washington University in St. Louis are developing novel anti-biofouling photothermal membranes, and also other means of using the thermal energy from sunlight to produce safe and clean drinking water.
To realize sustainable and effective forward operating bases (FOBs), water supply and wastewater treatment methods should be drastically improved. Recently, photothermal water treatment has emerged as a promising technique to provide clean water. At Washington University, we are actively working on development of photothermal water treatments that include fouling-resistant photothermal membrane in reverse osmosis and ultrafiltration system, solar steam generation, and photothermal membrane distillation. Photothermal materials is in a membrane convert instant light, typically sunlight, into heat by photothermal effect. Instant photon excite electrons in the photothermal materials, which then release their absorbed energies as heat and regain initial state. The localized heat on membrane surface can inhibit biofouling of membrane that is a major concern for membrane processes. This can also promote effective water evaporation for clean water generation.
Because photothermal membranes exhibit broadband light absorption, they have high photothermal conversion rates, are highly cost-effective, and are readily scalable. As a result, they are well suited for use in the types of large-scale water treatment facilities common to domestic installations, as well as in smaller, modular configurations for FOBs. Next, one of the research leaders elaborates on the mechanics behind the photothermal effect for filtration and evaporation, and how his group alighted upon the use of bacterial nanocellulose to develop next-generation membranes.
Most of the existing membrane materials are passive. That is, they have the right pore size distribution to filter water, to serve as a filter, but they don't have the required property, that is the photothermal properties, the ability to absorb light and convert that light into heat, which is important for photothermal water treatment processes. So that's when we started looking into other possibilities. What are the materials we can use to construct membranes or to fabricate these membranes? And that's when we came up with this bacterial nanocellulose. Bacterial nanocellulose is an interesting material which is produced by bacteria. It has excellent mechanical strength. It's basically an nanocellulose network. But the beauty of this particular material is, while the bacteria is producing this nanocellulose network, we can add certain other nanomaterials into this bacterial medium, that is the broth where the bacteria is suspended, and this nanomaterial that is added to the broth is getting embedded into the nanocellulose network. For example, we can take materials like graphene oxide, which is a two-dimensional material, and we can add it to the broth, and these two-dimensional flakes are getting embedded into this nanocellulose network. So once the cellulose network becomes sufficiently thick, we can harvest the cellulose network, kill the bacteria that actually produce this cellulose network, and we can compact this into a membrane, and the pore size of the membrane can be controlled by the amount of graphene oxide that is added into this. It's not just the graphene oxide. There are a number of other nanomaterials, photothermal materials that can be added into this bacterial medium. For example, MOS2, which is also one other two-dimensional material, or even zero-dimensional nanomaterials such as PDA particles, polydopamine nanoparticles. All of these materials are able to efficiently absorb the sunlight, convert that sunlight into heat. And once you have such photothermally active membrane, we can use it in a number of different ways. For example, as an interfacial evaporator, we can suspend this membrane on top of water and then efficiently evaporate water. Of course, this evaporated steam, the vapor can be collected and then condensed to collect fresh water.
While photothermal membranes hold great promise for solar steam generation and distillation, one of their more near-term benefits stems from their anti-biofouling properties. Membrane fouling, whether in reverse osmosis, ultrafiltration, or other system types, reduces system performance and dramatically increases the cost of water treatment. Biofouling in particular, the result of microorganisms sticking to a membrane surface, can cause transmembrane pressure to increase as much as 70% in reverse osmosis systems, contributing to decreased water production rates. Next, one of the PhD students involved in this research explains how light-induced high temperatures at the membrane surface inhibit biofilm growth.
So this is a photothermal membrane which we developed for anti-biofouling. Specifically, the reduced graphene oxide was incorporated into the bacterial nanocellulose. Because of their incorporation and configuration, it has a good mechanical strength which can endure the high operating pressure, which is higher than the 10 bar, and that is one of the uniqueness of finding. And then the most important thing is when we shine the light to this photothermal membrane, this reduced graphene oxide in the membrane can convert the light energy to heat by photothermal effect, and then they will heat up the membrane surface. And then in our batch experiment, we already proved that surface temperature is enough to kill bacteria within a short minute.
Making sure that the warfighter is well hydrated is a mission-critical task. As the Borden Institute of the U.S. Army Medical Department Center and School notes, dehydration in excess of just 2% of total body mass can degrade physical performance notably, affecting both large and small muscle mass activities. At 4%, nausea and fatigue set in. These effects are even more pronounced in hot or high altitude environments. New water filtration and purification technologies like the ones we've seen today can help assure an uninterrupted supply of drinking water to those who need it most. Thanks for joining us today. For more videos from this research effort on membrane-based desalination and graphene oxide fabrication, check out our social media feed. Also check out our website at HDIAC.org.